How long will it take before they show up, turn it off? Never a fire.
From home and abroad.
Not many of them left.
Courage with applause. It's crazy seeing the significance of where they were on D-Day and during the invasion, and just imagining how it was during then. I think of the honor of being able to wear the uniform and just being part of something that is way greater than me.
The region of Normandy is rich in French history, but it's the liberation by the U.S. and allied partners that is fully always on display here. There are museums of all sizes that dot the small towns along the English Channel, but on days like today, the anniversary of D-Day, it is enthusiasts coming from across Europe that make the occasion. Perhaps there's no better way to appreciate history than imagining the very moment. History buffs from across the continent descended on Normandy this D-Day, putting themselves in the same shoes as troops from World War II.
We're driving vehicles from the period, we're wearing period say costumes, but outfits, I suppose, and we're just paying respect, to the guys that were here, and we just think it's fitting, and our particular, and we maintain them ourselves, and yeah, it's all part of the hobby.
And as the sun sets on Omaha Beach, veterans and enthusiasts know they'll be back next year, as the world marks 80 years to the day. In Normandy, I'm Ryan Thompson for Newsnet.
Thank you, Ryan. Projects related to UFOs. David Gersh says deeply covert programs have illegally withheld information from Congress for decades. The Intelligence Community Inspector General called his claims urgent and credible.
Health started using AI to listen into appointments and help generate patient records. That's an effort to help streamline the process for doctors. While there are some promising applications, leaders in the general public are weighing the risks of these tools and asking themselves, is it worth it? Industry experts continually release an endless stream of op-eds and notable publications that claim that the rapid acceleration of machine learning systems is an existential threat to human life. This is alongside the growing concern that this tech plays in the disinformation landscape. This week, the European Union has called on both Meta and Google to label AI-generated articles and other content amid the bloc's efforts to fight against Russian disinformation campaigns. In Hollywood, the SAG-AFTRA Actors Union is set to meet with studio executives to iron out a deal that would limit the use of what's called a digital double. That's a computer-generated version of an actor. The move comes as the Writers Guild is actually fighting for similar protections. The one thing is increasingly clear, though. The American public just doesn't trust this technology. According to a new survey from the tech firm Krista, 3/4 of Americans wouldn't trust this technology to make decisions for them, even as basic as what to wear. In New York, I'm Eddie Hirschfeld reporting.
Yeah, I still can't get from here to there. Why? Because there is no wheelchair ramps. Euclid Avenue, and I have no idea what this street is. There's fast laws up there. And that place over yonder. When y'all gonna get around to doing that? Always be prepared. It rains, and I gotta get home.
Oxycodone pills and a bag full of mail, plus Additional envelopes scattered throughout the car during a traffic stop last week.
Some of the mail had P.O. boxes, some of them had commercial addresses, some of them had residential addresses.
According to the incident report, along with the cards and letters, there were ID cards for various people and IRS checks, as well as a stack of credit cards, debit cards, and gift cards. Close to 100 of them.
Reaching out to other agencies to try to determine if the crime occurred in their jurisdiction or if it was even reported in their jurisdiction, to try to link them together and try to get a full understanding of where this mail was stolen from and how it was stolen.
Police arrested the driver, Raphael Drain, and passenger, Caitlin Simpson. They're charged with theft by possession of stolen mail, as well as charges related to the guns and drugs. Police say the driver, Drain, has had other run-ins with the law. They say this wasn't the first time he's had a slew of mail that didn't belong to him.
Possession of stolen mail charge on his criminal history.
Investigators have been going through the mail that was found in the car and say there are addresses for people across Metro Atlanta. In Kennesaw, Denise Dillon, Fox 5 News.
Denise, thanks.
Smoke plumes farther down to the south, once again impacting the Midwest and the Northeast, but we're going to see some impacts really close to home as we get into the day tomorrow. The yellow indicating where you will likely see some of the lighter smoke. This won't necessarily look like a fire is going off and you're seeing some of the plumes of smoke come over. It will be reminiscent of more of a haze in the atmosphere, and as you can see, that yellow will start drifting past the state line of Tennessee and North Carolina into the far northern areas of North Georgia, really northeastern Georgia as you get into the mountainous areas. Rabun, Habersham counties impacted the greatest. We've already seen air quality alerts have been posted for the Carolinas. None have been issued yet here in Georgia, but this is what you can expect. Hazy skies and unhealthy breathing conditions, especially for those who are vulnerable. We're talking about the young and the elderly, and for those who suffer from heart and respiratory conditions. When should you expect to see the smoke? As early as tomorrow morning and possibly through Thursday morning, but we do have some rain coming through, and the smoke will be most visually prominent during sunrise, so it may be actually nice to look at around 6:30 tomorrow morning when the sun comes up. You'll have a nice little hue there as the sun reaches over the horizon. Currently, right now, those smoke plumes are nowhere to be found, and we are drying things out. We're at 77 degrees here in Atlanta. LaGrange, good evening to you. You're at 70 degrees.